Hello stars, welcome or welcome back. My name is Aster. First off, I'm sorry for the terrible lighting. It is what it is. The sun's out and I'm not going to complain about it. So it's actually Tuesday, so for once I'm not starting this on the day I'm supposed to upload it, thankfully. If you are new here, I am a reader and a writer. Most of my content revolves around writing because I'm trying to get published, hopefully this year, at least get a contract. The novel that I plan to be my debut novel is currently off to one of my friends who has been very nice and has offered to edit it for free. So once that's back, we'll start working on that. But for now, if you know, I've been jumping around between like project to project because I just can't figure out what I want to write. It's very difficult, actually. But last week I started to basically rewrite the first ever novel idea I ever had. The reason I never finished it to begin with was because once I really started writing it and got actually far into it, it felt too childish. And I wasn't sure how to fix that. To be fair, I made this story idea when I was like 10 to 13, maybe younger, so it makes sense. Basically, last week what I did was kind of revise the characters, made them not children, because they were like 17, I think, and I don't want it to be a YA novel, nothing wrong with that, it's just not what I want to write. So I aged them up a bit and kind of switched up their personality to make it a bit more adult-like. So I was quite happy with it, and I did actually start writing it last week, and I thought I could continue. Last week I had said that I wanted to have a goal of writing 1,000 words a day. That's what we're gonna do. So first day, Tuesday, goal is to get 1,000 words done. I have only gotten so far 1,000 words in there. But I haven't said anything about this story so far. I'm going to hold off until I actually decide if this is a story I'm going to finish. Because right now, I don't know, it's kind of just the vibe I'm going for. Maybe I'm feeling nostalgic because the debut novel was like the first story I actually wrote. So that was also very nostalgic and very childish. I had the same problem with that one as I did with this one. So yeah, because I'm so stuck on that book, this is helping me feel a bit better. So to begin, I will say, so far I've just done one scene for chapter 1. It is already very different from how the other drafts have gone. This novel I had tried to rewrite many times and it just didn't end up working out. But we're trying once again. So yeah, I have really no idea. I'm not plot pointing for this one because just the amount of times I thought about it and rewrote it, I know exactly how this story is gonna go. I just don't know the chapter play by play. So I'm kind of winging it a little bit. I'm honestly okay with that. Because again, I don't know how this is gonna go, whether this is a book I'm even gonna want to publish. So we're winging it and I'm already a little lost, but that's fine. You know, that's all right. I will update you once I get some actual writing done. All right, so that is it. I have done 1,000 words today. That took maybe an hour-ish, maybe a bit more. Still on chapter 1. I'm on the last scene. I don't think this scene will go very far. I just want to do like one reveal and then the chapter can end. This was I kind of knew when I started this chapter how I wanted it to end, so it was fine. But next chapter, I have no idea when I want that to end. I am really going bit by bit here, but you know what, it'll be fine. After all, I think I've written up to 10 chapters in the original draft, and in the latest rewrite that I did back in 2020, I think I got to chapter 3, so I don't know if that even passed If you missed last week's video, I decided to skip the first few chapters and to keep that, because it was more backstory, I decided to keep that more of like a mystery that you'd find out through reading it. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually like, I ended off on a scene I don't plan to include in here. I plan to do it a little bit differently. So I might have to go back to the original draft to figure out where I might want to end chapters, but I think I know enough about writing at this point to be able to figure out when a chapter's been long enough, especially if I'm doing 1,000 words a day. I'm more aware of what it is, like how long the chapters are. For Sidereal, my cozy fantasy, once I was in like draft 2 or 3, I had to go in and do like word counts for every chapter to figure out if it was a long enough chapter or if it was too long, and to cut it in half. So this will give me a better idea. Once I get to a word count that I like, which will probably be around 2,000 words at least, then I can be like, okay, this next scene I can end off here and I can start the new chapter. So I have an idea. I'm just hoping that my thoughts work out. Anyways, that is it for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. So last night I was able to get my computer, my desktop, finally set up. So today we are going to write on my actual computer, which I'm super excited for. So yeah, trying to go for 1,000 words once more. Yeah, okay, so I have one scene left in chapter 1, so I'll probably get into chapter 2 as well today. Yeah, I'll update you once all that happens. All right, we are done. It's been a while. To be honest, I don't really know what time I started this, but it's like 3:30 now, so it's been a couple hours. Did get to chapter 2, just like a couple lines into it. Word count now is about 3,128. Not about, that's the exact word count. So a little over 3,000, but I am okay with that. I had to leave it at a good spot. I couldn't leave in the middle of a thought, so there we go. I already knew at that point how I wanted chapter 1 to end. Chapter 2, I'm not entirely sure how I want it to end. I don't know how much time these two are going to be alone before the next person in the main cast gets brought in or introduced. But I feel like I do want it to be a little bit. So I don't really know what's going to happen between this and finding her, because usually that's a pretty short amount of time. Usually they find the village where the other person lives pretty quickly after he joins Raylan and all of this. Main character's name is Raylan, by the way. She's like the protagonist, but the other guy, he's a main character, but I can't really call him a protagonist. His name's Felix. So yeah, I want to, now that things are set up a little bit better, I want to reintroduce their like dynamic, because it's going to change from the first scene that we saw them in. Yeah, we're on to chapter 2. I'm still actually really enjoying it. I think it is the kind of nostalgia I was missing, and that's why I found so much trouble getting into other projects, because like I said, Sidereal is the first book I ever wrote. This story was the first like idea I ever had, and so it's just kind of the nostalgia of my childhood nostalgia. I did, what am I calling this? Project Witch. That's what this is called. I'll link it at the end of the video in case you want to go see the other video where I decided to start on this again, and where I got majority of the first chapter in. To be fair, this last scene that I wrote today actually lasted longer than I thought it would, but I like that. I like it being longer than I think it would be. But, yeah. All right, I am back. So it is around noon, and once again I'm just gonna work on my 1,000 words a day thingy and see where that leaves us off. I'm hoping that this doesn't take as long as yesterday did. I don't know what was with me yesterday. It took forever to get those 1,000 words in. I think I started around like 11 yesterday and didn't finish till my friend got home from work, which was like, I don't know, a little after 4. So I'm on chapter 2, like just barely got into it, about that far down on the page. So it's a big screen, but whatever. All right, so 1,000 words is done. It's about 1:30, so this did go quicker than yesterday. We're at 4,068 words now. Good chunk into chapter 2. I'm just about to end this scene and then we'll get on to the next scene in the chapter, but it'll still be probably a couple days before I finish this chapter. I don't know if I'm going to finish this chapter by the end of the week or what, but alright. This is Friday, so this will probably be the last day I do this. I'll try and edit it tonight. 1,000 more words, and then I'm also, because the new season of Bridgerton came out yesterday, and I want to continue watching that. So if I don't get too distracted watching Bridgerton while writing, then I will continue to, but if I forget, nope, Jesus. If I get too distracted, then I'll have to turn Bridgerton off for a little bit. Okay. I didn't actually finish the 1,000 words, but I don't think I'm going to. I got like, I think 500 down. So yeah, we're at 4,564 words, which is fine. I might come back later to finish more of it, but I think I'm too distracted by Bridgerton right now. I did have to turn it off and wrote another couple hundred words, but I want to watch Bridgerton, so. But yeah, this is also, we're at a part where I wasn't sure if I wanted to end this chapter or not, but I wasn't sure what else to put between the first scene and then this scene, so this scene ended up in here. Alright then, I might be back later. If not, I will be back to do an outro later. Alright. Okay, so I gave myself a few more days, and unfortunately I did not end up writing anymore. But to be honest, it's kind of fine because I've written so much more this week than I have in the previous weeks. If you know, you know. To give you guys a last word count on the project, it ended up being 4,621. So I missed out on the last 400, but it's okay, honestly. I wrote so much more than I have in probably the last few months, and I don't know if this is anywhere near good, honestly, because I'm just writing. I don't have any plot points in mind. I don't have any plot points written down. I just have what's in my mind, and I'm just creating it as it goes. And so it might be a hot mess by the time I finish it, but I would have finished it, so that's a step forward. But yeah, it is Monday, so I'm about to edit this and get it out. I just wanted to do a last update. But yeah, next week will probably end up being something of the same. But yeah, I hope you stars enjoyed, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye!